The Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led administration in Lagos State has, since its inception, defined a strategic and realizable roadmap to rapid transformation, inclusivity, economic growth, and sustainable development of the city of Lagos. This is very evident in recent official engagements of Mr. Governor. So join us as we bring you the sight and sound of his activities in recent times from the Governor's Office platform on the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria. Stay tuned. Welcome back. First, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, alongside some key cabinet members, conducted a walking tour of strategic riverine areas in Lagos State. The tour afforded the governor to have a first-hand information about certain developmental anomalies in the coastal lines, which necessitates proper regulation and control. Speaking with the press after the tour, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu gave a catalogue of challenges, investment opportunities, and economic potentials within the riverine corridor and space.
First, let me thank all of you for turning out in large number on this walking tour of our riverine area. You will recall that we've been on this journey for the past 4 or 5 hours now. We started from Inagbe by the border to Ilashe, and we went to Ibeshe, and went to Kare, and we've driven, both on the lagoon side and also Atlantic Ocean side. We've been able to see and appreciate first the challenges that our people face in this area, but also to see the enormous opportunity that we'll also have on this corridor. Gentlemen, press, you saw that we had to visit first the substation, the transmission line substation here at Ilashe, and it's interesting to also report that Messrs. Eco Disco were also with us on this journey, and you've also seen that we have powered the 11 kVA from 132 to 33 and to 11. What is now remaining is really just the connection to the various houses and to the various homes and facilities that we have here. And Eco Disco, there was an official handover of the step-down transformers, to them. So we're bringing life back into this community. But more importantly, we're also bringing a lot of order, a lot of sanity, a lot of reprocessing and understanding how livelihood needs to be. This is a major tourism area that we need to preserve. So what we've seen is that there's also been a lot of disjointed building going on. There's been a lot of abuse of the fiscal planning approval. There's been complete abuse on the lines that have been set from the ocean. There are set lines that are known, that have been graded. You should not exceed, a certain building lines and the kind of things you also need to build. So these are all things that we've all seen. That's why we brought you out here. And so what we're coming back to do with both fiscal planning, LAPCA, urban development, they will come and do full enumeration. We'll do a proper full, enumeration. We'll get as built, and we'll now be able to take a final decision. Final decision will be inclusive of how do we regularize, how do we give titles, how do we, ensure that also the locals are not disadvantaged, how do we settle everybody, how do we ensure that life now can begin to come fully back into this neighborhood, and how do we ensure that the tourism potential, more importantly, the tourism potential that this whole stretch have, how can government be a strong enabler, for that to happen and be able to, appreciate the opportunity and the potential that this place. And we also see that we have a lot of security personnel that are on ground. Maybe we still need to speak more with the Nigerian police so that they have proper representation. We have an area commander across the lagoon there, so maybe we need to also have some other, boots on the ground on this side. And what kind of hospital facilities do we also need to provide for it? So it's a full eco, system that would, what kind of shopping facilities must have, supermarkets, fire station, pharmacy, fuel station. It's a whole full work-life experience. I will believe that this trip has given us, has opened our eyes. You can see that we all have work to do, and we're committed, to doing the work. It's also it's not a warning, but it's a note of caution and information to a lot of people that have also done things wrongly here. That government will also come and correct it, so that we can come up with a win-win situation.
The Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led administration has scored another historic first with the unveiling and commissioning of the first ever established and fully equipped ultra-modern industrial leather hub in Matori, Mushin, Lagos by the nation's First Lady, Her Excellency Oluremi Tinubu. The event, which is a great testament to the bold commitment to wealth creation, job generation and empowerment to the people of Lagos State and beyond, demonstrates visionary leadership. Mr. Governor, who expressed his appreciation to the First Lady for conducting the significant event, noted that the Industrial Leather Hub is the birth of a bold and strategic investment in the future of Lagosians and Nigerians. He equally urged the beneficiaries to see it as an opportunity to change their fortune.
It's with profound joy and a deep optimism that I welcome you all to this historic occasion, the commissioning of a Lagos Industrial Leather Hub. Today, we celebrate not just the opening of a facility, but also the birth of a bold and strategic investment in the future of our people and the prosperity of our nation. This state-of-the-art, first of its kind in our country, is more than bricks, is more than steel, and more than machinery. It represents a gateway to global competitiveness, to Nigeria's leather value chain hub. It's a launch pad to thousands of decent jobs and a shining example of the power of visionary governance and purposeful partnership between the federal government and the state government. From today, the heights and the skins that once left our shores unprocessed, they will here be transformed into world-class footwear, into garments, and into accessories that will truly be stamped as made in Lagos, made in Nigeria for the world market.
On her part, the First Lady, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, she did not only congratulate the governor for the project initiative, she highlighted the various values, benefits and advantages of the hub to industrial growth and empowerment of youths.
An ultra-modern facility that represents another milestone in the drive to empower our artisans, strengthen our micro, small and medium enterprises, and promote local manufacturing. I congratulate the Governor of Lagos State, His Excellency Mr. Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, for this bold and progressive initiative. By investing in this hub, the Lagos State government has once again demonstrated its commitment to job creation, productivity, and sustainable economic development. I say well done. Indeed, Lagos has always been a trailblazer, and this project further reinforces the state's reputation as the heartbeat of innovation and enterprise in Nigeria. This project is in line with the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR to accelerate diversification through industrialization, digitalization, creative arts, manufacturing, and innovation in order to create a dynamic and diverse economic landscape. Leatherwork is a traditional craft that has stood the test of time. I am informed that this hub will serve as a center for leather processing, footwear production, and specialized training, enabling artisans to add greater value to their craft and compete confidently in both local and international markets. I urge all those who will utilize this facility, artisans, entrepreneurs, and our vibrant youth, to take full advantage of the opportunities it offers. Dedicate yourselves to excellence, hard work, embrace continuous learning, and position your products to compete in the global market. As we unveil this hub today, let us use it as a beacon of possibilities, a symbol of how government and citizens can work together to turn challenges into opportunities.
As the chief host, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, recently attended the official flag-off presentation of empowerment items to 1,000 beneficiaries in Lagos by the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, under a PERT project, the Renewed Hope Initiative, which is in collaboration with the Sustainable Development Goals SDG Office in the Presidency. Mr. Governor, in his speech, commended the First Lady for a large heart and kind gesture through the initiative. Describing the initiative as a propeller for growth, Governor Sanwo-Olu equally charged the would-be beneficiaries to take advantage of the opportunity to better their lives and others. The governor described the occasion as simply a day of renewal, inspiration, and a day of transformation.
We're here to stand shoulder to shoulder with Your Excellency, our First Lady, in advancing renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, our President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. For us in Lagos, it is not just a hope kept. It is a hope that has long lived with us in Lagos. It is a hope that we have continued to enjoy for well over 2 decades, because that leadership is the leadership that we continue to draw from. And so we are not surprised that all of this are part of the birth and the renewed initiative that the country is now enjoying. Today, as we present this empowerment tool, let us remember that behind every item lies the story of resilience, the fight against poverty, and the determination to rise above the limitation. And behind this initiative lies the compassionate heart of our Madam First Lady, who has made service our legacy. To the women who receive the support, this moment is more than just the items in your hand. It is a call to dream bigger, to stand taller, and to lead within your family and your neighborhood. Your Excellency, Lagos is deeply honored that you have chosen our state, your state, as a stage for such an inspiring gesture. It speaks not only to your abiding love for Lagos, but also for your lifelong devotion to building of people, uplifting families, and heralding communities. Therefore, on behalf of the people and government of Lagos, I want to thank you again. Thank your entire entourage, especially the wife of our Vice President, Ajanana Shetima, and all of the people that have joined you on this journey. We do remember that every soul and every heart that you have touched here is a recognition of what you truly stand for. We pray that God Almighty will continue to strengthen you, to crown all the labor with impact, and to keep you as the mother of our nation, whose name will forever be inked in the life of those who have lived and who you have lifted. We will equally ensure that this initiative is supported with structures to help that through this skills development, mentorship program will push, and the leakages will be wider, will create a wider opportunity. We want to assure you that we're not just going to make this a final call. You have used this to energize us, and will ensure that we go round in all nooks and crannies of our state, and we push it forward, and will ensure that even people that are not here in subsequent one, we're able to reach them. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you again to a day of renewal, a day of inspiration, and a day of transformation.
While thanking Mr. Governor for his tremendous support, the First Lady, Mrs. Remi Tinubu, gave a statistical data of beneficiaries of the initiative so far across the country. She equally stated clear the set objectives, short and long-term benefits, value and advantages to women across states.
This empowerment will benefit 18,500 women across the country's 6 geopolitical zones. Since the initial launch of this program on 21st February 2025 in Abuja, we have successfully distributed empowerment items across all the states in the North Central and South zones. Today, 500 pre-selected women beneficiaries in Lagos State and other southwest states will be provided with items such as deep chest freezers, maxi gas cookers with ovens, generators, and industrial grinding machines to support them in starting up or growing their existing businesses. I am also pleased to learn that our amiable governor, Governor Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, CON, has supported this program with an additional 500 empowerment items, which brings the total number of beneficiaries in Lagos State to 1,000 women. And not only that, the governor had decided to also add transportation money to you all today. I commend Mr. Governor for this gesture and his commitment to the growth and development of women in Lagos State. Recognizing the crucial role women play in nation building, this program aligns with the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, which prioritizes inclusivity, economic growth, and sustainable development to all Nigerians, particularly women's economic empowerment. Similarly, the empowerment of women in all spheres of life is central to achieving the SDGs, especially SDG 5 on achieving gender equality and empower all women and girls, and SDG 8 on decent work and economic growth, which are all relevant to the purpose of this gathering.
And still from the governor's office, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, alongside key cabinet members, traditional rulers and religious leaders in Lagos State, received Her Excellency Senator Mrs. Remi Tinubu and her distinguished entourage from Abuja on a renewed Hope Initiative sensitization, familiarization and engagement tour with traditional rulers and religious leaders. In his speech, Mr. Governor did not only commend the great transformational impact of the initiative by the First Lady, but submitted that the strategic roles of religious leaders and traditional rulers in the conversation of governance is not only critical, but germane to national development.
At this August auspicious occasion, the first set of people that Our Excellency wants to have a simple greeting and dialogue with, just to be able to explain to us, and show you that they are an important strategic arm of government, the traditional institution that we continue to revert to. Also to use them as a point of contact to explain to them that our religious leaders, this government prioritizes everything you're doing for us and your intervention in all spheres of life. In the last 2.5 years, our First Lady has birthed new ideas, new levels of governance using our office as the First Lady of Nigeria. Her renewed Hope Initiative is next to none. We're beginning to see that the intervention under the Renewed Hope Initiative, which she currently says, is touching all the nooks and crannies of the state. She's using her creativity, our intellect, our contact, our ability to show responsibility, and people are coming up to support her. She has brought back the idea when she was a senator in Lagos Central, giving hope to the vulnerable and to the elders in our society. She's not only limited to this part of the country, she has opened it up to all of the first ladies in the country. And she has shown them that this is the only way you can support your spouses. This is the only way that governance can be purposeful. And she's doing it without any political coloration. She's going to states without any political affiliation. She goes to states that are not APC. She goes to states that are APC. And she's showing all of us that this is the real essence of why we're in government. Please, our mommy, we want to thank you. We want to ask God to continue to give you the grace, the strength, the power, the unction to continue to lead and to lead well.
In a speech delivered by one of the traditional rulers representing Oba Kiolu of Lagos, reeled out significant areas of concern that demands urgent attention from the First Lady.
1. Renew Hope Initiatives. We see focused attention for our youth capacity building skills and vocation to make them useful members of the society. We request for more alternative high school for guys to offer second opportunity for our teenage guys who drop out of school for one reason or the other. We request for greater partnership on collaboration with the nation and international institutions, organizations in building structures, food market, and logistics hub to combat the menace of food insecurity and to improve the well-being of our citizens. We want to plead with you. The Beijing agenda, we cherish our mothers. If there is no woman, I will not be born. If there is no woman, I will not have a wife. If there is no woman, I will not have my daughter in marriage. You are all in all for us, ma'am. We are soliciting for leadership academy for female, has been done by Oprah Winfrey in South Africa, to have it, leadership academy for female. Please, a special request. 2, inclusion of 37 SCDA in the constitution and request for creation of states. A, we wish to reiterate our desire to remain as one strong, viable, and prosperous entity, Lagos State. However, since the creation of more states since 1967, Lagos State has remained undivided, with the 20 local governments listed in the Constitution, using the parameters such as population, economic, viability, proximity to the people, and the political democratic process management. Lagos State deserves more local government.
In a response, the First Lady, Senator Remi Tinubu, did not only address the key areas of request by the traditional rulers, but also enumerated the reason, purpose, and set objectives of the Renewed Hope Initiative, as well as short and long-term value, benefits, and advantages.
I will start with Kabiesi's list first. It's good that our colleague in the National Assembly is here, so that when they are having constitution amendment, we can look into it, but we'll start lobbying for that. So, because we know how legislation is, it takes a long process. But we hear you, and then we'll consider it. I'll start with the number 1 request, which is the alternative high school for girls. And when we built the first one, was 17 years ago in Lagos State. And it was meant to be replicated by the sitting governor, because it was my husband then, when he was governor here, that they built the first alternative high school. Kabiesi Shengbo. So the sitting governors are supposed to build one each in the 5 districts. But one thing is, I never stopped promoting alternative high school. When I was in the Senate for 12 years, I promoted it a lot. In the committee, I found myself in education. And I told them about the second chance opportunity for the girl child. Somebody was listening, and they started building a second chance school. So as Providence will have it, I found myself in this position, to the glory of God. And then we had a meeting. Her Excellency can bear me witness, and I started promoting alternative high school, that we have to do it and sell it to the state first ladies. And one of the northern first ladies approached me, said, after the meeting, he said, I have a second chance school. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, exactly what you are saying. I said, why is this second chance? Because when you are not in the field of education, you might not know the implication. I said, why would I assuming I went to a school like that, why would I put it on my resume that I went to alternative high school, second chance? Automatically, your employer would ask, what happened to you? Why didn't you go to normal secondary school? So that was why we gave it that name. But to the glory of God, were able to now change. They've built over 40-something, up north mainly. Whereas the south where it started, not much was done. But they have over 40-something all spread across the northern state, and they built it so well. But right now, the 17-year-old one we have in Lagos is going through renovation, and then there's another slot for one to be built in Ikorodu through the grace of God. So the greater partnership with the nation on the menace on food security. Kabiyesi, you talked about food security. When we go to my note, you will see how we plan to address it, which I will take later. The Beijing agenda, like you said, in the National Assembly, they are promoting the special seats for women bill, which I think would address a lot of issues as it concerns women. So the National Assembly seems to be positive about this. The House of Representatives are moving the bill. For Leadership Academy for female, the alternative at high school for girls will take care of that. And there are a lot of academy that people are doing to help our children. The way our children learn with AI and internet, we can't even explain. So the younger generation are learning, but the most important thing is for the government to put them on the right direction, that this is the way to go. For 36 LCDs to become local government, and it has to involve constitution amendment. And we thank God that the person who proposed it is now the president. So I believe that whatever it takes, before the end of this administration, I think God will move on that. For traditional roles in government, in the constitution, we've always spoken about that. But you see, the government itself, when we look at it, is stretched thin. And that's why they're trying to empower local government so that they can take the right decision and they can have the autonomy to do a lot of things. And since they've been granted autonomy, let's see how far they can go with that. So you are in our minds, because right from time, I know you all have a good role to play in the Renewed Hope initiative we started. Because the only way, because you have the grassroots also, and then you are well respected as fathers in your, not only just traditional rulers, as royal fathers, which comes with a lot of authority and a lot of regard. And that's why we needed you. So also is the faith leaders. You have the congregation with you all the time. And to me, it's not that I just want to talk about my program, but me also, I'm also an assistant pastor. But we know when, as a Christian, I can speak that. We can speak things into life and into existence. What we don't want, we pray against it. But when we are saying bad things about government, where God is present, he said, as we have spoken his ears, so shall he do unto us. As long as we are praying, we know that if we mean well for this nation, as a Christian, we believe that all things work together for good for those who God has called, that are called according to his purpose, that it will definitely, work for good.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, recently commissioned the Olatunji Bello Multipurpose Auditorium in Lasu, Epe campus, proudly built and handed over to the university by former Secretary to the State Government, former Commissioner of Environment and Water Resources, and currently the Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Consumer Protection Agency, Honorable Olatunji Bello. Governor Sanwo-Olu, in his speech, commended the philanthropist for his great vision of commitment and an enduring value of giving back to society, as well as praising him for his legacy of service.
This iconic edifice, generously donated by one of our best, one of our illustrious sons, Honorable Olatunji Bello, stands as a testament of a great vision, stands as a commitment and an enduring value of giving back to society. Honorable Tunji Bello, a distinguished journalist, a lawyer par excellence, a writer, a former secretary to state government, a former commissioner at various cabinets in Lagos over the years. you will agree with me, has contributed immensely to the growth and development of our dear state. Together with his wife, Madam Vice Chancellor, he has continued to leave legacies of service and philanthropy, and today's commissioning further cements that legacy. I want to thank you because it's been a difficult time. We know what the construction industry has been like in the last 2-3 years. It will be very easy for us or for you and your family to just abandon it and say that you know what it is. I wanted to have good intentions, but this is the reality and I cannot continue. But you've publicly told us that you had to, what the bankers will call, you had to strip your assets, to do this. God Almighty will replenish it. God will strengthen you and God will give you good health, sound mind to continue to serve humanity. And so you can see that this modern facility is more than just a building. It is a beacon of knowledge. It's a beacon of creativity and intellectual engagement. It will serve as a hub for academic discourse. It will be a place of cultural exchange. It will be a place of learning and understanding. And it will be a place of strategic gathering, enriching the rich cultural learning environment of LASU to all of our students and inspiring them to even be of greater excellence.
Earlier, Honorable Olatunji Bello took guests back memory lane how the inspiration for the building of the auditorium came about.
As my sister's birthday approached in 2021, the concern was how I could do more. For me, the idea of throwing a big party to mark the occasion was completely off the table. My darling wife, Professor Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello, the very able Madam Vice Chancellor of this great university, is the one who initially mooted the idea of building something for LASU. She was not yet the Vice Chancellor then. By the time we invited the architect, Mr. Kumi Ayinla, to come up with a building plan and give us the cost implications, I was frightened when I saw the budget drawn by an architect. I was immediately filled with doubt as per the feasibility of going ahead to build the auditorium for this great university. But when God gives you vision, God Almighty will also provide the means in a miraculous way. After days of wrestling with the architect's budget in my head, it suddenly occurred to me that I could ask those going to buy me gifts for the sister's birthday to monetize such and hand me the cash to do something really dear to my heart. It worked. A very wealthy friend and known businessman had wanted to surprise me with a brand new Toyota Land Cruiser Jeep. I appealed to him to convert it to cash with donations from other able friends and well-wishers. We got started in 2021. I am of the belief that God will never abandon whatever he starts. Help came from some other quarters, one least expected. Still, there are moments of doubt and temptations as we encountered. But our faith never wavered. The toughest moment being the 2023 and early 2024, when the Naira went down and inflation offset all previous calculations. It meant that the costs were almost tripled. At the point of buying finishing materials, to continue, I had to sell a property in my Godo estate to keep the workers to side. To God be the glory. The rest is now history. Your Excellency, the Governor, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, without wishing to sound sanctimonious and all righteous, one point I'd like to seize this moment to make is the consequential choice between transient enjoyment and posterity. Thus, by choosing to invest the money through sowing the seed in the vineyard of knowledge, I believe we are invariably preserving my sister's birthday cake in a way that will be shared and savored by many generations to come. Besides, this is my humble way of supporting the argument that public purpose is served better by helping public universities fill the infrastructural gap.
On a part, the Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello, who happens to be Honorable Olatunji's wife, noted that her husband has indeed, through words and deeds, inscribed his name in the permanent record of LASU growth story.
Now permit me to specially recognize our donor, my dear husband, Honorable Tunji Bello. On behalf of the entire management, staff, and students of this great institution, I say thank you for this magnificent donation. You have shown that public service extends beyond office tenure. This donation complements his annual 100,000 endowment prize for each of the best graduating students in the Faculty of Engineering, Social Sciences, Mass Communication, Law, and MBBS degree examinations at our convocations for the past 14 years. This facility represents more than architectural beauty. It is a strategic investment in academic excellence and institutionalized identity. It reinforces the fundamental truth that when we invest in education, we invest in tomorrow's leaders. Honorable Tunji Bello has therefore, through word and deed, inscribed his name in the permanent record of LASU's growth story. For a campus housing the Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Environmental Sciences, and School of Agriculture, the auditorium marks a significant milestone towards achieving Goal 3 of our administration. That is making infrastructural facilities available and accessible for seamless academic and administrative operations.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, alongside some key cabinet members, conducted an on-the-spot assessment of the middle-level market in Sanwo-Olu Aja on the Lekki-Epe Expressway. In his brief chat with newsmen after the tour, Mr. Governor expressed his satisfaction at the level of the work achieved so far. He equally noted the strategic commercial benefits, advantages and value the project will bring to agricultural food chain supply in Lagos State.
We just came on a spot assessment of the middle-level market here in Sanwo-Olu Aja on the Lekki-Epe Express Route, and the work is going on well. It's well over 90% completion. Is just to do extensive external finishing and to be able to clean up extensively. And what you see here, we're actually doing similar things in 4 other locations. And when we said that we have a well-robust plan around produce for Lagos, the middle-level market in Ijoro. So this will be the second one. We have another one coming up in Bombata in Lagos Island. We have one coming up in Agege. We have another one in Oregun. There's a plan. My Badagi people and my Ekpe people are crying for that. So we'll go and look at, and Ikorodu. Yeah, there's one going on in Ikorodu. So there are 5 other locations that are being built as we speak. And the plan, like we did mention, if you remember my speech then, is that the logistics hub, which we've been to one time ago, is getting also nearing completion on phase 1. Will be the ones that will now feed into the middle-level market. So you can imagine fresh food items, vegetables and meat and everything coming in here. This entire axis of Aja, Sanwo-Olu up onto Lekki phase 1, phase 2. And so it's part of the food security solution of Lagos that we talked about, and these are the investments that we're making. By this time next year, by the grace of God, you will see that all of them will begin to tie in. So when we launch the Produce for Lagos, is because we wanted to do it ahead. Let's do some heavy lifting ahead before the infrastructure get ready. Because for people to go to the market and as farmers, it will take them 4-5 months before they begin to have the final, production ready. So once they are beginning to get ready by the end of the year, these are the kind of places that they will come into from the logistics of. So I'm sure it begins to make sense.
The just held 27th quarterly meeting of Universal Basic Education Commission UBEC in Lagos was officially declared open by the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, ably represented by his deputy, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat. In his speech delivered by Dr. Hamzat, Mr. Governor noted that the theme of the 27th meeting, bridging the gap between planning and performance towards achieving quality basic education, is timely and apt, which speaks directly to the strategic importance and shaping policy approach to delivering quality basic education services in Nigeria. While noting significant initiatives of the Lagos State government in ensuring and operating quality basic education system, Mr. Governor enumerated key challenges that must be addressed to impact the lives of the Nigerian children.
The theme of this important 2-day engagement, bridging the gap between planning and performance towards achieving quality basic education, is a call to translate policies and detailed plans into tangible improvement in teaching and learning outcomes. that will directly impact the millions of lives of Nigerian children. In Lagos State, as I'm sure it is in other states, we continue to champion the cause of providing free, inclusive, equitable, and innovative education to every child, regardless of background or status. Therefore, I'm sure that hosting this meeting underscores you bear confidence in our state's firm commitment to advancing quality basic education. The challenges brought forward from previous meetings, including utilization of funds, unlocking matching grants, infrastructure deficit, teacher quality and capacity building, and addressing out-of-school children are critical issues with real consequences. It is therefore important that failure to address these challenges risks depriving our children of the necessary environment that is conducive to their learning, and of course, leading to lack of provision of necessary resources for our teachers to inspire and educate our children. So in Lagos, we have prioritized building world-class educational infrastructure as evidenced by our recent commissioning of various ultra-modern classroom blocks, integrated vocational training and digital literacy initiatives under our Teams Plus agenda. We understand that advancing education means equipping teachers through professional development programs and fostering a learning environment where every child can thrive. But it's also important to know that classrooms, textbooks don't teach. It is teachers that teach. And these are the common denominators in our school. A teacher can be in a classroom for 30 years, 25 years. Each one of us, 5, 6 years, we are out of primary school, we are gone. Therefore, teacher training, teacher education, equipping our teacher is probably the most important factor that I'd like all of us to take into consideration.
And finally, from the governor's office, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, recently officially swore in the re-elected chairman of Ifelodun Local Council Development Area, LCDA. Mr. Governor, who commended Honorable Otedola Akanbi for his outstanding performance in his first tenure, wished him all the best to continually deliver on his mandate to his people at the grassroots level.
We've just witnessed a constitutional responsibility in which our brand new local government chairmen are meant to be sworn in and come and take the oath of office. Our chairman that has just taken oath has been indisposed, and we're thankful that he can make the time today and continue his civic role. We are encouraged with the fact that he did very, very well in his first tenure in that local government, and we're believing that God that has equipped him will give him the power and the might to continue. I want to wish you all the very best. Your local government LCD is a critical part of our government. It's one of the very forward-looking LCDA that has a huge population and has a diverse community engagement. If we're meant to assess your first tenure, we believe that you did well above average, and if not excellent, very good. We're expecting similar things from you, and we hope that the government officials and all other councillors and officers will give you the support that you require to do your work and to do it well.
Well, that's a comprehensive catalogue of Mr. Governor's official engagements in recent times. The City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria continues in a moment. We'll be right back.